Hey y'all, welcome to the end. Today we're going to be working on a little bit of a special project here, because I am tired of being poor. So we are going to improve our material situation with an enderman farm. Way out in the blue void yonder. Now we have a little bit of a situation here, because want to put these out about 128 blocks away out of despawn range from the main island. Our island is very long, so it's going to be way, way out there, and we want a way to easily get there. I was considering a couple things, like obviously, simplest answer is we just make a path and we walk, maybe ride the horse, but he's pretty fast. But like, we're in the end, we're making an enderman farm, we're gonna have ender pearls. So let's just teleport, man. So our plan is going to be that we install a little teleportation station where we can hit a button and it'll take us there. Hit another button at the enderman farm and it'll take us back. But in order to make that work, we need a way to send data up and down and back and forth across the void. So we're going to start by digging our way down to the bottom of the world and setting up something for that. Okay, now we're down to about level 8, which is this block. The enderman farm design that we're going to do is going to have a platform up top and then drop them down a fall chute. And because it's so high to begin with, the percent difference in farm efficiency for going here or all the way down at the bottom is like maybe 20%. And it's already going to be faster than we need. So we're going to keep it up here for convenience instead of moving all the way to the bottom of the world. We're going to turn this into a solid water column, just like this. Now I've installed a little observer reading this wall from the bottom. So if anything changes, it'll flip that trapdoor. And we should be able to see. This might actually be a little bit difficult to demonstrate, but if we close and open that, that's gonna... see how that changes the wall. That's gonna then flip that trapdoor and that redstone down there. That's a way to send the signal up or down. And then we can send it up by just blocking off this soul sand bubble column and reading that out with an observer at the top somewhere. Like, even just here. We're just gonna split this up into 2 simple redstone lines. Okay, so we're way out in the void at like x equals 272 or so. This is far enough away from the island that we won't have spawn radius issues. So now we just gotta build the glass back the other way and build out the redstone lines on this all. Alright, so that should be everything all done. And then let's also see if we can test our work. Gonna pop into FreeCam. Finally got Tweakaroo. So if we press that button, that should light up all the way down the line and open that trapdoor, and you can see it does. We can go ahead and do the opposite, test that one later. So we're just going to need to wire this into these observers and whatnot here, so that it comes down and back out that way. And up here, we're going to set up a little bubble column to store our pearl in. Hopefully we don't bust out into the void. That would be awkward. Seem to be good. There we go. We should be able to just chuck an ender pearl down this. It'll stay here, and then whenever this gets activated by our system down there, it'll do that, push our pearl, and land here. Problem is, we don't have any pearls. And obviously it's going to be a little bit before we get the proper enderman farm up working. But I actually have a idea that I'm pretty excited about for how we can, on a bit of a tighter budget, get our hand on some pearls. All we need is a couple of wall blocks, which we have already, and a couple of signs, and also a lava bucket. So we're gonna pop up here, pick kind of a good central location. This seems fine, doesn't really matter. Pillar up 3 blocks, and we're just gonna make a little 5x5 platform. At the, not the corners, but like the center of each edge, we're gonna stick a wall here. And then the most important part is right up at the top in the middle, plunk down a lava bucket. Oh, and also we need signs. And that lava is actually going to overflow. We could probably just skip one of the signs, but may as well just put that there. Or honestly, I think a wall might work. I don't know. But once we've got this, it's very simple. We just look at a bunch of endermen, and they should get mad and run toward us, and the wall hitbox, it looks like it's down in the block, but it's actually a block and a half tall, so it's almost like we have a slab here. If we put an actual slab, they would, like, realize that and not walk on it and dump their head in the lava like an idiot. But because it's the wall, they kind of don't realize that it's going to push them up. So they're just going to keep self-immolating. And so if we get a little bit more deliberate at angering all of the nearby endermen, things start getting very noisy over here. Can we get a stack? Yeah, that's a stack and some change. So this is, I mean, this isn't crazy. It's not going to help us farm chests and chests of them. But it should be enough that we can just teleport back and forth between here and the build site while we're working without having to worry about the details. And out here we are. We've constructed pretty much the same setup. Chuck in a pearl, and now we can give the system a test. Here we are. Oh man, I don't have pearls. That's a problem quickly solved, so check that in and then can go both ways. Don't think that worked. If we kick that way up, send another pulse. Okay, that's all working. Oh my gosh, got another one. All right, sorry for the flashbang, but we are back out in the overworld, trying to find our way to a proper desert. Because I need some sand for concrete for our build plans. And I'm running out of beaches to dig up. At least ones that I'm okay with destroying. Oh, cactus. Here we are. Well, we're here. We can grab some of the cactus flowers too. I think these are cool. There's a pot. I can't even remember quite which one in the village, but there's a pot at home that I've been wanting to plant one of these on since like episode 1 or 2. And I thought we'd find one when we went to the mesa, but it didn't have any cactus there. So we can finally go do that. No, I think it's here. Yeah, I really wanted to try putting one of these on here. Here, say that it's a double flower, and I need to get out of here. Alright, we're gonna pop back through and start laying out our area. We're gonna leave this as our floor level, I think. Although, you know, I think that's good. And so we're going to move down about 2 blocks for the actual surface of like the bottom of where we're building. I've already kind of planned this out, sketched it out beforehand, so we're sort of just going to be copying that shape over, and I'll try to explain it once we've got more of it built out. Uh-oh. Oh, that's unfortunate. Knew that was going to happen. Shouldn't have brought the good pickaxe, though. Alright, we've assembled a little bit of a shell, and we are now gonna pillar up and start working on the actual spawn platform. This, like, 3x3 here is gonna be drop chute, so we can go up anywhere on the side. Start here, because why not? Okay, so down here, if you look up here, we're at y equals 9. We want to add 43 to that. So that's going to land us at 52, I think. So we should be able to drop back down here and land in the right place. Now, one thing about this that's going to be fun is that that is high enough that if we fall in the void, we fall in the void. And if we fall down here, we're just dead. Alright, so we've finished off our spawn platform, more or less. Shout out to all the boomers who recognize the pattern. But we're gonna go back down now and work on our drop shaft. I don't know, start here, and then just basically build a little ring around this 3x3 area. And then we're just gonna keep stacking up here, pretty much up to the top. Now we're gonna start fiddling with the structure down here. Oh dear. So down here, we're actually going to be filling this up with water up to this level. And then this will be kind of the room up here at the top. We're going to kind of arch a roof over and put some glass and water over it. Right here, we actually want to punch the top of these pillars out. And I'm gonna do a very sort of shallow, gentle arch going across these sides, and then a little bit more of a dramatic vertical one going over the center. Now we're actually running a little bit low on nether brick, so gotta run some of that soon. We should be able to get a bit of an idea of what we're doing with the arch. So we're gonna pop it like this, and then on top, keep some of this terracotta going. Smooth it off with a bit of that, and then pop one of these in, and then probably do something like that. And then out along the back here, we're just going to be covering this all in glass. And then I think in the middle we might run another pillar down here, but I'm not totally sure. And on the other side, just more glass. So we're going to end up with something like that. I've actually been taking a little bit of a sneaky way back and forth between home and the Nether Fortress. If go down here, right over here, a little bit dangerous, is where we can link up to this portal, which comes through actually from the portal here, like by the stronghold in this crazy cave. So that's definitely been saving me some time. Right, so I've made my best effort to clean up the interior a little bit. Still not super complete, but I think it's time that we start flooding the place up. Then we can fill this back in and actually just break out these walls here. We'll need something to make this land on, so I guess we can keep a block there. Or we can honestly just do a floating carpet, and that should be fine. And we're also trying to set up a little path in here. It's a little bit difficult because in order to teleport proof this, we want to make this all out of waterlogged blocks. We can use these mangroves, various leaves. I don't know if we have lily pads, but we can try bringing some of those in later. And also floating moss carpet is safe as well, I believe. Alright, so we're gonna pop an enchantment table over here. I think we just want to put it in the center of that little room. So we're gonna end up somewhere like right there. And then the bookshelves are, I think, just going to go in the walls. I'm going to try to keep them kind of recessed back, like keep this arch here going. Now that's actually kind of an uneven distribution of wall and bookshelf. I don't know if that's going to be like a thing that drives me bonkers coming up, but for now we're going to leave it and see if we don't mind it too much. Then also, not just here, but all over, we want to spice up the walls. Hang on, this is bugging me too. Let's go ahead and then we want to be careful about the red sand because endermen can pick that up, I think. They shouldn't be able to get into these areas to begin with, mostly. We're going to go ahead and just chuck a lot of this all around. We also have red terracotta, which can potentially be something that just goes in streaks in certain places. Okay, so I think this texturing, for the most part, looks pretty decent. You know, always the odd bit that sticks out a little bit. We gotta finish up with these like upper sections of wall. So honestly, it's probably going to be another job of just smear orange terracotta everywhere and then fill in the texture later. I do, now that I'm looking at it, definitely want to like bring the orange up more at the end, and I think I'd also like to do that here. It's a little bit messy how exactly that fits in and mixes with this, but we'll maybe do some sort of funky arch in the back. Alright, I think that's feeling a lot more solid back there now. Not totally sure about the leaves. Part of the reason the leaves are here is that this actually, and this, has a little 3-block high pocket. If we punch out that one, then those actually kind of just hide behind there. It's going to be a little bit different because this water stream is just our temporary scaffolding. But I think the texturing in here has pretty much come together and looks pretty decent. One thing that we can do down here, and we'll want to refine this with shears a lot, but we can bone meal the bottom of the lake and, or not the lake, but the, I guess it might be a lake. Whatever this is. Bone meal the glass down here, and then that gives us an opportunity to have some more types of greenery poking up and spicing up the situation. So I think that's kind of a good balance. And then the big thing is we got to pour water all over the top of this. So we can start just over here, I guess. And oh, the water's not going to cooperate, is it? Please make water source. Thank you. Gotta block some of this off somehow. For temporary purposes, we can just stick a little bit of this on, and that should keep us all safe. Oh. And that's, to some extent, just going to flow down over everything. We also maybe want to bone meal a little bit of this down here. And plant some seagrass floating up on top of that. And then anywhere like here where it's not flowing where we want it, we just add more water sources. There we have it. I think it definitely changes the vibe in here quite a bit, having it all blue like that, and yeah. Alright, so we need to start setting up our endermite now, so gotta restock on pearls, and we're gonna take the enderman farm out for another spin. Alright, so with all our supplies, we're gonna head up here, and we want to house our endermite a couple blocks up here. I want to say maybe this level or another block above should be fine. Just for good measure, we'll stack up a little extra high here. And then what we want to do is just create a little box 2 blocks high. Oh, it's usually good to bring ladders when you're doing this, but we forgot. It should be fine, I think. Might just be a little bit extra annoying getting out of here. So we're gonna pop 2 of those there and just repeatedly purl into the ground. We gotta keep our health up, because little guy is gonna start trying to eat us as soon as we spawn him in. Okay, here we go. And ended up adding a stair, because when it spawns the endermite, it actually spawns it where you teleport from, not at the destination. So now we are safely out. Gonna name little buddy and try to stick him in a cart. Perhaps not very successfully. Oh dear. Anyway, back we go. So we want to center this guy right here. Gonna pop a little thing up on top of this just to make sure that nobody can teleport on this and then fall back down. Not sure if that's completely necessary, but may as well be safe and all. Here we're gonna fill this all in with trapdoors. So we'll pop one of these here. And another one up a block or two to stop them from wandering into the middle block. On the outside of this, we're just going to ring with trapdoors. And I believe that our farm should actually be ready to go, so we'll go ahead and punch out these torches. Oh. Getting tested already, I guess. And all seems to be functioning up here. Right our way down to the bottom. And then we also just want to grab this water back out. And if we get a sword together here, look at that. Now some of these guys landed in the water, so they have more health, but most of them should all be on half heart, so we can just swing right through them all in one go. One issue that we do still have with the enderman farm is that even though we have our teleportation set up, if we die, the pearl is always going to disappear. So I want to grab a little bit of ice so that we can build a boat road to get out there quickly. And oh, that is a very good pickaxe, but not what we want right now. There we go. I mean, we could do better, but that works fine for now. All right, now, to wrap up our episode, we're gonna wander back over to the end. We have our ender portal all set up, but just for funsies, we're gonna go the slightly longer way. You can see, have a nice little path here. Ended up just using regular ice, because then we don't have to spawn proof it. It's quite a bit slower for long distances, but at this range, it's like a 20% difference. You can just zoom right on over here and do a little bit of enchanting with all of our fresh levels. Now, got all sorts of stuff on us. We have a little bit of armor, we can make more. Doing pretty good in the pickaxe department, but it'd be lovely to get like an axe and a shovel back going. Bow and trident, potentially. So we can kind of just see what we've got on the table. Riptide 2, I don't think so. See what we got. Kind of crap, but we'll keep it for the moment. Try some armor. Fire protection? Tempting. Kinda. I guess that's fine. See what that gives us. Loyalty 3. Okay. Let's not throw this in the void, but we can have some fun. Very efficient. We do definitely want to pop one of these up somewhere. Maybe that can hide right in there or something, or even on the... Oop. Even on the other side here. Yeah, there we go. Farm up some more levels. See if we can get one last good one on the spoon. Silk touch, silk touch, silk touch! I believe we even... Hang on, we don't have a pearl here, or an anvil here, but I think we got one right back at the end hub. And, yep, we're gonna just right yoink that. And that can go... Kind of a good question. Can slap it... Slap it in the wall, even. I pretty much call that one good. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this adventure. I am certainly enjoyed the process and also the results. So hoping to see you again in the next one. Bye bye.